Your veterans' benefits are your business. You shouldn't share the details of your VA disability check, the extent of your disabilities with anyone, especially your neighbors, your nosy neighbors. What the hell are they doing asking you about your veterans' benefits anyway? Think about it, right? How could that be good if you share that information with them? It's common for people to ask questions. I get it. It's kind of a nicety. Hey, how's it going? I'm Combat Craig. I'm Joe Bob. Hey, I have a shitty job over at 7-Eleven. What do you do for a living? And then, it's like kind of a way to spark up a conversation. So it can start off innocent enough, but it can come back to bite you. And that's what I want you thinking about here. So watch out for this trap. And the easiest way to shut this conversation down is I'm retired. Once you get farther than that, it's like, wow, you're awful young to be retired. Now you already know that he's going to be like, well, you're awfully normal looking to be disabled, right? So it's a good way to kind of tease that one out. But yeah, I'm retired. You want financial advice? Want me to tell you how I did it? You know what I mean? You can go down and explain this to your nosy neighbor. The only people that need to know about your veterans benefits are your immediate family, the people that are financially affected by it. You live with them. It's your wife. It's your kids. That's it. You don't need to talk about this with anybody in town, especially your neighbors. Your neighbor, he sees you at home. He may see you mowing the lawn. He's just not going to understand why you get to stay home, because that's the way he looks at it. He doesn't understand what disabilities are. He's just, thinking about himself. Like, I have a shitty job and I get paid $8 an hour and I work at some shitty gas station. Why does he get to stay home? That's what happens. He's not going to go back, 30 years and reevaluate, why he didn't go sign the military, and why you did go into the military, and the extent of your disabilities and stuff like that, because he doesn't care about any of that stuff. He just wants to get paid. The more your nosy neighbor knows about your veterans benefits, the easier it's going to be for him to think, wow, I don't get veterans benefits. And he's going to say, like, it's welfare maybe, or just free money from the government, or you're scamming the system or something. That's the way he views you being on disability, which is why you shouldn't even tell him that you're on disability. And he may think that, yeah, I'll report you. Obviously you have your disability, you do what you do within your restraints of your disability and your limitations. But you don't need a government agency snooping around on you and stuff like that. You can just avoid all that. People get jealous. That's just the way that, this goes down. So, what he doesn't know is, and this is a normal person, call them normies, right? So normies, they didn't go in the military like we did. So they have no clue. When we were like, hey, whatever your reason was for signing up, ultimately, you got to a point where you're like, I'm going to serve my country and I'm going to get through this shit and I'm going to do it and I'm going to make it through boot camp and I'm going to suck it up and all that kind of stuff. Those are some of the reasons why you may be underrated too, by the way. But your homie over there next door, shitty job at the gas station, what was he doing in his late teens and early 20s? Smoking weed, bro. So that's the comparison. You went off and did something. You were fine when you left and you got into combat, or who knows what happened to you while you're in there, but you got fucked up while you're serving in the military. So when he's looking at you, he just cares about, well, I'm 50 and you're 50 and you get paid and I don't get paid. And if I can't get paid, I want to stop you from getting paid. It's like, 3-year-old stuff. You don't know who you're dealing with in your neighbor. Jealousy is a weirdo kind of deal. So it's hard to predict what some jealous person's going to be like. So just shut it down and keep your mouth shut. Tell your wife and your kids to keep their mouth shut too. And the less people that know, better. I'm retired. It's much easier to say that than to explain, well, I'm disabled and then I get paid so much because I'm at 60%. And then I'm also on TDIU, but I'm trying to go for scheduler, and you're trying to explain all this stuff. And he just doesn't care because he's just in his own head. He doesn't care about what happened to you, how long you've been fighting, how long you've been underrated. He just wants to know how he could get some money. Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website and in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form. Boom, you're done.